So go ahead and sit up nice and tall. And it's always nice to actually do sit on something. I have a folded up blanket and I just sit on the folded side. Place it about halfway under the buttocks. This allows for a passive opening across the inner thighs, letting the knees ground down to the floor. And from there, find an inner lift. So a nice tall spine, lifting from the sitting bones up through the back body, and even reaching up through the crown of your head. And bring the shoulders slightly back, aligning them over the hips. Close the eyes if that feels right today, or just softly gaze down and forward. And begin to take several rounds of slow, deep, conscious breath. Beginning to make your transition into this space, into the body. And just leaving behind the rest of your day or the rest of your week. Gradually freeing the mind from any thoughts or concerns of the future, just so that the mind and body can feel a little lighter. You begin to notice how you feel physically, emotionally, energetically. Just taking a little bit of inventory in the beginning of practice as we continue to breathe and gather our awareness into this space. Just notice what's going on and begin to direct your breath in, around, and through all parts of the body or the mind or the heart that are holding on to resistance, tension. Allow for your breath to even touch and linger in any area that needs a little more of an embrace, more of a release. And gradually settle now with whatever remains in this practice of acceptance, contentment. Bring your awareness now to your breath, just as it is, as it flows in through the nostrils and as it flows back out. And even closing the eyes if they haven't gradually already closed. Fully turning your attention inward now, focusing on this breath. Moving in through the system, filling spaces of the body with air, oxygen, and then moving back out. And if the mind wanders, that's okay. Just notice the thought or where the mind goes. Maybe it's a thought of the past or of the future. Just notice the tendencies of the mind, and without any judgments or attachments to the thoughts or feelings, and just bring your awareness back to the breath as it flows in through the nostrils, the nasal passage, the body, and as it flows back out. Now just centering yourself with each new round of breath. And if there are still parts of the physical body feeling tight or holding on to tension, you can also direct your breath to those areas after it flows in through the nostrils and nasal. Allow it to move into the parts that need a release still. Taking about 5 more rounds. Every new inhale is a little bit more nourishing than the last. And every new exhale, a bit more relaxing than the last. And then the last couple of rounds of breath will be fully cleansing with exhales out through your mouth. So wherever you are, whenever you're ready, with an inhale in through the nose, fill the body up with air, and then open your mouth. Exhale completely. Let it all out. One more. Deep inhale in through the nose, and then full exhale out through the mouth. And then with your next inhale, slowly open the eyes, gazing down and forward. Bringing awareness into the room, into the spaces now around the body, yet keeping attention into sensations into your body as we start to move. Never pushing any movement, never pushing any posture. So really, this practice is to honor your limitations and really focus on, those edges and those guides. The breath is your guide, and your edge is that place between effort and ease. So with your next inhale, sweep your arms around and up above head, reach up to the sky. And exhale the palms down towards the heart. Couple more, just like that, warming up arms, shoulder, and the chest. Big stretch, reaching through the ribs and the sides of the waist. And with an exhale, drawing it back down. And then last time. And leave the hands to the lap, resting on your knees. Turn the palms up. And with your next in-breath, find your inner lift. So grow tall through the spine once again and reach up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, bring the shoulders back and down, nice and soft across the heart. One more time. Inhale to grow taller through the spine. And exhale, relax shoulders back and down. The end of your exhale, drop the chin towards your chest. And keep breathing here. Just let the head hang heavy. And then as you're ready, with an in-breath, float the head back to neutral. And exhale to relax. Good. With your next inhale, turn your head to the right, just to gaze over the right shoulder. And as you exhale, tuck the chin down towards the chest. You can use two fingers to guide the chin down, and then release the hand and just allow your head to get heavy and continue to breathe into the right side of the neck and into any other parts of the body, chest or back, that are responding to the stretch, to this posture. With your next inhale, lift the head, lift your gaze, and exhale, turn back to center, relax. And in breath, once again, lift up through the heart, extend the spine, and exhale. Now turn the head to the opposite side, looking over the left shoulder. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, drop your chin down. You can use two fingers to guide it down. And then relax the hands. Just keep breathing this fluid breath. And when you're ready, inhale, lift the head, look forward, exhale, bring back the head back to center and relax. Just taking a moment to pause, offer yourself some stillness. Continue to extend up through your spine and keep a soft heart. And with your next inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, roll them back and down. And then again with the breath, so synchronizing the breath with your movement as you rotate through the shoulders, back and down. Do a couple more rotations. Good. And then relax and rest for a moment. Every new moment of rest is just an opportunity to connect again with your breath and check in with the body. Good. And moving into a gentle twist, but we're going to extend the legs straight out in front and shake them out a little bit. And then gently kind of bend the right knee and flex the left foot. You can have a soft bend in that left knee, right? You never want to lock that straight leg. And then from here, again, reestablish your inner lift to bring the palms together. Inhale and stretch the arms up above head. And as you exhale, you're going to twist to the right and just lower your left hand to the outside of the right knee and bring the right hand to the floor behind the right hip. Gentle spinal twist. Drop the shoulders down and just soften the gaze. Breathe. And if it does feel okay with the neck, you can begin to look back over the right shoulder. But if it's too much torque for the neck today, keep the chin in line with the center of your chest. One more round of breath here. And then with an exhale, back to center, straighten the right leg, shake out those legs. And we'll move to the other side. So bend in the left knee and flex the right foot back. Keep a soft bend in the knee. That straight leg is not so straight. You want to prevent any hyperextension. And then as you're ready, palms together with a deep inhale. Lengthen through the spine and the sides of the ribs. And as you exhale, twist to the left. And bring the right hand to the outside of the left knee and the left hand behind the hip, the left hip there. Gentle twist. This side might be different. Remember, honor the edge or the limitation. Stay with your breath. If it's available to you, begin to shift your gaze behind you, looking back over the left shoulder. If that's too much, keep the chin in line with the heart. Twist is coming from the base of the spine through the mid and upper back. Just gently releasing any tension in the back body. One more breath. And then release back to center as you exhale. Straighten the leg. Shake out both legs. Good. And now, moving nice and slow, you're going to come onto your back. And make sure your ball noodle is accessible to you. If you don't have a ball noodle, you can always just have two individual tennis balls. I'm going to set up for our myofascial segment here. So I'm actually not going to use a blanket today because we're going to go right for the heart center. I'm putting my blanket off to the side, but if you're on a hard floor, you can absolutely use a blanket under your butt. For now, align the noodle, so look back to see where it is. I'm going to position it so that it's right under the center of your heart, right under the center of your shoulder blades as you lie down. You might take a couple of adjustments. So I'm kind of guesstimating my heart center's right here. I'm going to slowly walk all the way down. And just go slow. Step the feet hips width apart. And then, of course, use your hands if you need to adjust. I'm going right for it, right for the heart. Okay. And when you find a position that feels right, center of shoulder blades, relax your arms off to the side, turn the palms up in our gesture of receptivity, ready to receive and accept whatever it is body has to offer today. Whatever it is, the heart has to say as we start this practice, really getting in to the seat of the heart, which ancient yogis kind of labeled as the seats of wisdom to the body. So that's the heart space. Hence the term, listen to your heart, right? So with the feet about hips width apart, arms out, moving into our pranayama practice, automatically 2-to-1 breathing, where you'll be exhaling twice as long as you're inhaling for. And if you're not quite there yet, no worries. You always work up to that 2-to-1 breath, just as long as we focus on the longer exhales to highly activate or upregulate our relaxation response. Yeah, this is the breath to do just that. When you're ready, inhale into the lower belly first, then the ribs, then the upper chest. Then exhale out through the chest, the ribs, and then the low belly, twice as long. So work your way up to it. Inhale into the belly, the ribs, upper chest, and then exhale twice as long in reverse, nice and slow. Sometimes it helps adding a count, maybe inhaling for 3 seconds, and then working your way up, exhaling for 4 or 5. And just like everything else, it's a practice, so the more you do it, the easier it gets, especially with this deep diaphragmatic breathing. It works to increase flexibility around the tissue surrounding your lungs and the diaphragm. So it does get easier to breathe the more you're literally stretching the spaces of, the organs that we need for this breath, right? Continue breathing. Notice sensations across the back, across your chest, and how the breath alone is compressing body against the ball noodle. And this could be enough movement for you today, just focusing on 2-to-1 breath, breathing into the belly, the ribs, the chest, and breathing it out in reverse for twice as long. Or if you want a little bit more, perhaps to go deeper in the fascia tissue, which we're targeting here with myofascial release, you can draw the knees in towards the chest and give yourself a gentle hug, but keep breathing. And then your third option, whether your knees are drawn in or the feet are still on the floor, is to begin to rock the knees nice and slow over to the left, back to center, and then over to the right. Make your movements very mindful, so consciously moving slow so that you begin to feel sensations of body. Perhaps even begin to hear what the heart has to say, what is being held there, stresses of the day or the week, stresses of the past 6 months. Now is the time to really tune in, as much as we sometimes don't like to hear or to face these emotions and sensations of anger or frustration that might be trapped in this space. This is the practice to help increase your capacity for, I guess, patience, self-patience and self-compassion about what's happening. Just kind of letting yourself be here with an open mind, opening the heart at the same time. Keep breathing fully into your belly, the ribs, the upper chest. Exhaling it out in reverse for twice as long. Completely empty it out. Good. A few more rounds, wherever the body is, if the legs are moving side to side, or you're just being still today, really focusing on that breath and optimizing the spaces of the entire body with that breath. You're really bringing this kind of balance to not just your nervous system, but to the circulatory, immune, musculoskeletal. So the breath has all such power to regulate pressure, and that's what it does. It helps to balance out any asymmetries in so many different systems of this body. And then whenever you are ready, I'm going to move the noodle up or simply slide yourself down. Take your time. So the noodle kind of inches up towards the tops of the shoulders. And you might like to keep your arms out to the side or perhaps above the head if that feels good. Feet on the floor, about hips width apart. Helping to stabilize the hips, the sacrum. Passively release the lower back towards the floor and come back to your breath. Sometimes the tendency is to lose the pattern of your 2-to-1 breath, to lose the depth when we move or transition. So find just a couple of moments to bring it back. Breathing fully into the low belly, the ribs, the upper chest, and breathing out fully, longer. Exhaling out completely before you take your next in-breath. The lungs and the heart are profoundly connected and such important vehicles of health for the rest of the body, obviously, but also for the breath. So just as the condition of your heart and lungs will affect your breath will affect the health of your heart and lungs. When we breathe shallowly, It's usually just into the chest cavity. And that doesn't allow for enough oxygen-rich blood to enter the systems, enter the various parts of the body. So the heart actually has to work harder, it has to pump faster. And that induces a low grade of anxiety, right? It tells the brain, it signals the brain, something is not right, it's working too hard. So the brain, being a part of the nervous system, kicks up pretty high. It kicks up that stress response that we have, and that is our also known as our stress response. It's what we're trying to turn down in a healing practice by upregulating the relaxation part of the nervous system and downregulating that stress response. So deeper breaths are really important to slow the heart rate down, lower blood pressure, and signal the brain that everything's okay. You can just relax. Couple more breaths here. If you haven't done any movement, you're more than welcome to hug the knees in once again. Rock side to side. Just exploring the left side versus the right side here on the upper back and shoulders. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you press down through the feet and lift the hips off of the floor. This applies more pressure on top of the noodle. And then again, if you're working with two balls, you can always put one on either side of the spine. Couple more deep breaths into the lower belly. Really expand the ribs and bring it up into the heart and chest. And then exhale it out in reverse. Emptying out through the low belly. Press all the air out. Take one more inhale. Fully expand the abdomen, the ribs, the heart. And exhale it out. Then as you're ready from here, with your next in-breath, stretch your arms up towards the sky. Really reach up high. Energize up through the fingertips. You're going to feel the muscles across the back side of your shoulders kind of contract and stretch. So continue to actively reach those arms up and then press the palms together. Using a little bit of arm strength here. Finding resistance, press the palms together, keep reaching those arms up towards the sky. Deep breathing into the belly, the ribs, and the heart. And with an exhale, lower the arms behind your head, but keep the palms together. And when you feel the hands touch, bend at the elbows and just relax the arms. And you can even bring the elbows to about 90 degrees, kind of like cactus arms, if that feels good. Couple more deep breaths here. Good. And nice and slow, scoot your body kind of back so that the noodle rolls down towards the lower ribs. You have to shimmy yourself up a little bit. And then, of course, you can always use your hands. Moving it back down now. So below the heart space, at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Take a deep inhale when you get there, in through the nose. Pause at the top, and then open your mouth and exhale. One more deep inhale. And open your mouth and exhale. Press down through your feet. Now keep breathing as you inhale, lift the hips. Then exhale, reach for the noodle and move it out from underneath you, off to the side and lower down. Good. And very slowly hug your knees in. Take your time, give yourself a hug. Inhale into the belly, the ribs and the heart. And then exhale, roll over onto either side of your body into a fetal position. So pause here. Maybe allow your head to rest on your arm or on a blanket. Just let the head be heavy. Soften the face and the jaw. And now very slowly, you're going to press yourself up. But we're not going to come about halfway up. So we're going to reposition the noodle and work the side body here underneath the arm. So I'm on my left side, but it really doesn't matter what side you're on. You're going to still use your ball noodle. If you are just using one or two balls, you can, it might be more intense. But in general, if it's too intense, cover the balls with a blanket. You can use a thin blanket over the balls. But it is a little more sensitive here underneath the arm and armpit. So you're going to take your time, position the noodle right underneath the armpit, more or less. About 3 of the balls are going to be sticking out to the side. Then I like to have a blanket kind of tightly folded. You don't have to, but it's going to serve as a pillow for the left side of my face because I'm going to extend the arm out. My bottom arm is going to go straight above my head. I'm going to place the blanket on the arm and then rest my head right down. And the noodle is going to be at my upper ribs, so kind of in line with the breast line here, for lack of a better alignment position right there, sort of close to the nipple. And it's going to feel intense. So remember, this is your practice. And if you cannot maintain a 2-to-1 fluid deep breath, it might be too much. And you can pad the noodle with another blanket or just take a break because we're not going to be here too long. Okay? So just relax your legs and use your opposite arm here to kind of support your body, right? I'm going to be out in front here. Breathe. Super, super deep breaths here. Breathing fully into the belly, ribs, the heart, and then exhaling it out in reverse. One more in this position. Inhale. And then exhale it out in reverse. And now I'm going to lift my head. We're going to roll the noodle up. You don't have to lift your head, but using the opposite arm to kind of guide the next position is going to help you. You're going to scoot the body down, letting the noodle come up directly underneath the armpit. So now it's above the breast line, under the armpit. Reconnect with your pillow if you need to. And keep your supporting arm out front and breathe. So we're getting into some smaller but really important muscles here, connecting the back body to the front, right, to the chest. Breathe deep wherever you are. If you want to explore a little bit more sensation, and slightly rotate your body forward onto the noodle so that the balls massage some of the chest here on that side, the pectoralis muscles, and then slightly rock back. Again, all myofascial release is that it's a self-massage technique, but you control it. So you determine where your edge is by the guidance of your breath. Okay. 2 more breaths here before our final position. And then take your time. You can lift your head and just move slow. The last position on this side of the body is going to be above the armpits. So tapping in to the actual arm muscle here. The triceps on the back, smaller muscles, the teres minor and major, and muscles that support the shoulder rotator cuff. Relax your head back down if that feels right on a blanket or a pillow. Adjust yourself as needed. There really is no wrong or right. Putting a lot of pressure here. So gravity is doing most of the work. So breathe. So now we're above the armpit. And if you have room to go, if it feels okay, begin the self-massage. You can rotate your body over it and then rock back. So really smooth rocking motions with your breath. Or you don't have to move at all. You can just rest and breathe. You guide your breath into the spaces of your shoulder and arm. Couple more breaths here, and then we'll move to the other side. Good. And then as you exhale, you can use the opposite arm, hand on the floor, to lift yourself up, but go slow. Go really, really slow. Let the head just hang heavy. So give the muscles of the neck a break. Keep the head down and take your time to switch. You can roll over or just switch sides. I'm going to just do a flop here. Set up your noodle, what it looks like to be underneath the armpits, and then slide all the way down. Take your time. And remember, about 3 balls will stick out or so. It's going to be aligned with sort of the breast nipple line here. And it's pretty intense. It's the top of the rib cage here. You can use a folded blanket if you like as a pillow, or just pop your head up with your hand and breathe. For me, the most intense position is here. It's just thinner layers of muscle, also kind of digging into the intercostals, which is also very important tissue to keep hydrated. That's the tissue between the ribs. All interwoven and connected because it's part of our fascial network, right? 3-dimensional matrix of connective tissue. So just direct applied compression, as some of you know, is significantly working to hydrate and release any tissue connected, sticking together, whether it's in a trigger area, like an area of deep sensation, it's usually because it's a knot of tissue stuck together. Or if it's in a more sort of mellow area and it just feels good, it's a nice amount of pressure, it's still super beneficial for the whole body, not just this area of the ribs or the chest, but the whole body. Notice how the arm feels, notice the legs and the shoulders. The fascia tissue is one seamless connected network. So you're going to get feedback from all over. The more you tune in and the more you do this practice, you get really in tune with these signals of the body. Begin to transition now to the next position. You're going to lift yourself up and lower. So the noodle, the balls will be underneath the armpits, above the breast, slightly above the breast. So really just maybe an inch higher, and breathe. And you can just be still or apply a little motion, gentle rocking forward over the noodle and then slightly back, using your opposite arm to kind of support you, the other hand in front of you. And breathe. Don't forget that breath. If it becomes kind of held or short and choppy, then just take a break. Come off of the noodle. If you do get a moment, just try and relax the neck. Taking a couple more breaths here before the final position above the armpit. There really is no pretty way to kind of explore certain parts of the body with myofascial release. But I think that's all part of the practice, this particular technique. That's why it's fun, because you can control it, you can be creative, you can use all the props that you want. Pillows, blankets, mats, no mats. And there's also the fact that you can use different balls, different sizes and pressures as well. So this feels really intense with the tennis ball. If you have like a toy ball, be a perfect placement for that big toy ball. It's a little bit softer. And if you haven't moved already, go ahead and move the noodle up above the armpits. Try and relax the arm the best you can. Maybe release your head down, whether it's on a blanket or just on your arm, and breathe. So the arms and our hands are really extensions of the heart. So all that wonderful heart energy that has to do with giving and receiving love moves into the hands, moves into the arms. Many imbalances in that heart energy can also affect the condition of your hands and arms and contribute to tension, blocks blood from flowing. If you have some chronic conditions going on in the elbows or hands, it could be correlated with that heart center. Suppressed actions or suppressed emotions that really kind of go back to what that energy is all about. And it's really just giving and receiving love. And we tend to, more often than not, give away too much and not give enough to ourselves. When you're ready, your last exhale, take your time, lift yourself up, keep your head heavy, and just move the noodle off to the side. And you're going to come into a seat, just to an easy cross-legged seat. Head is still heavy. And then when you're ready, allow the breath to be the driving force that lifts the head up. With an inhale, extend the arms out to the side. So feel the spaces from the heart center out through each arm, the energy moving even into the fingertips as you stretch and reach and breathe. Try and drop the shoulders down and lift through the heart center. Good. And then inhale the arms above head. And exhale the arms back down. Turn the palms up. One more inhale, reach. And exhale the arms out in front. Come into a tabletop position to your hands and knees. Take your time. If you need to pad your knees with a blanket, you can do so. Moving into a cat-cow. Relax the belly as you inhale, draw the heart forward. As you exhale, really draw your navel center in and around the upper back, drop your head. Good. Moving through a few more rounds of breath with an inhale, relax the belly, extend the heart forward. And as you exhale, round it out, pulling the belly button in, dropping the head down. Now press away from the floor. Maybe one more. Good. And then from here, you can bring the knees together and sit back into your heels. Lift the chest, relax the shoulders back and down. Reach around for opposite elbows. And if you can't touch opposite elbows, that's okay. Just grab opposite wrists or the forearms on each arm. I'm going to turn around so you guys can see me. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears, back and down, drawing the shoulder blades together. One more. Back and down. And when that happens, the tendency is that the rib cage begin to jut out. So pull the ribs in by engaging your abdominal back. Strong corset muscle. And lift up through the chest. One more inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and sit up, sitting on the knees. Still grabbing for opposite elbows, keeping the rib cage pulled in. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, step the left foot forward. Align the knee over the ankle. So now in a low lunge, right? Nice tall, low lunge. Extended up tall through the spine. Soften through the heart. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the hips. Now you're going to turn the right foot in and rotate the hips and pelvis forward. The left toes are still pointing away. And if you have a block, you can use a block or a blanket. Place it to the inside of that left foot. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter what side you're on. You might be on your right leg. We'll do both sides. And breathe here. Finding your balance. So this is a modified warrior 2. Extending the arms out, just like we did just a second ago seated. Just reach out through the fingertips. Feel the energy moving out from the heart center into the arms and out through your hands. And then turn the palms up towards the sky, drop the shoulder blades down. Actively ground down through your rooted foot there. It's my left foot there, the bent leg. And then inhale, arms above head. And exhale, lower that left hand to the block or to a blanket, or you can come all the way down to the floor, turning the palm forward. If it feels okay with your neck, look up towards the ceiling, or you can just look straight ahead. Now in our modified side angle pose, if you want more, extend your side angle and reach over the head. Open the heart towards the ceiling. And breathe. Good. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, lift up. Use your abdominal strength. Back to your warrior 2. And bring the hands to your hips. Now from here, begin to scoot your left foot forward and then flex the toes. With my ball noodle, flex the toes back here. Nice stretch through the inner thigh. If you had a block, move it to the other side. And then spin the foot down, turning the toes forward. So now grounding down through that extended foot there, the best you can, rooting down through the outer edge of the foot. And then inhale, arms out and above head. And exhale, now lower the right arm or the opposite arm. And extend that top arm overhead. Turn your palm downwards. We're finding that external rotation through your arm and shoulder. Open the heart towards the ceiling. Try and relax your head and neck. If it's too much torque on your neck, you can relax it down. Now your extended leg is strong. Continue to root down through that left foot. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to center. Bring the knee in and just sink back into the heels. Just pause for a moment, come back to your breath. 2 to 1 breathing, inhale, belly, ribs, chest. And exhale it out in reverse. Keep breathing. Sit up tall again onto your knees. And then this time, to bring the arms automatically above head. Take a deep inhale. And then press the palms together. And just leave the index finger pointing up, sort of like a steeple hand here. Soft bend in the elbows. Pull the ribs in, engage your core. And as you're ready, step your right foot forward or whatever leg you did not do. So alignment-wise, you want to keep the right knee over the right ankle. Good, and keep breathing. And then if you had a block, put it just to the inside of that right foot. I'm just going to turn around. And then turn the left foot back behind you and open up to a warrior two. Reaching out with the fingertips, stretch from the heart center out through the arms and hands. Good. Turn the palms up. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, lower the hand to your block. Now you're on the side you didn't do before, or come down to the floor. And extend your top arm above head, really lengthening through the side, body to side waist. Opening up even further the smaller muscles of the chest and shoulder blade. If you have room to go, begin to rotate the heart towards the sky, opening up to the sky. A couple breaths. Deeply inhale into your belly and your ribs and your heart. Nice and slow, exhale it out in reverse. And then when you're ready, with an inhale, come back to center. So now I'm going to move really slow and begin to straighten out that extended leg and flex the foot. And a nice stretch in the inner thigh. And then turn the toes forward, ground down through the foot. That's my right side, so right foot rooting down. Move the block if you had one to the opposite side. And then when you're ready, arms out, deep inhale. Find more length and space in the spine. And then as you exhale, lower the hand to the block. Side bend, opposite side stretch. Turn that top hand down. Creating that external rotation. If you have room, rotate the heart open up to the sky. Good. Find your breath best you can. Inhale into the belly and the ribs, the heart. Exhale it out in reverse. At the end of your exhale, engage the core, rise on up. And sink back down and towards the heels. Pause for a moment. Just relaxing the hands to the thighs. Close your eyes. Just take a moment to rest and check in. And then from here, reestablish your inner lift, growing tall through the spine. And walk the hands back behind you. So keep the fingertips on the floor, just to the outsides of your toes. If you have any knee issues and this is too much, you just back off. And of course, put blankets under the knees if you need to. So walking the hands in closer together. And then interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Pull the ribs in. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now you can stay here and just begin to draw the knuckles slightly back behind you and then down towards the floor. Look straight and breathe. If you have more room to go, begin to lift the arms. And then relax. Take your time. Release the hands down. Again, bring the fingertips behind you. Point the fingers towards the feet and the knees. And continue to walk them behind you. Stretch the knees forwards, trying to keep those knees grounded down until you come onto the palms of your hands, aligning the shoulders over the hands. When you're ready, is an inhale, lift the buttocks off of the heels, press forward through the hips, and relax your head back. Open the throat, the heart. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Even tuck the tailbone in. Just one more breath here, and you can come out whenever you need to. And with an exhale, release. Take your time. Walk it in. Walk the hands all the way forward, child's pose. Separate the knees. Relax the forehead down. Stretch the arms out in front of you. And breathe. Breathing to and from the back of your heart. Now just surrendering to whatever is. Even if there's still thoughts or feelings circulating from your day, just surrender to them. See the thought, and then move on. Move on to a sensation or just a sense of space and ease, whatever it is. Allow yourself to be here. This is this place of neutrality, of pure conscious being. Always there, always available to you. That seed of wisdom that resides in the heart. Constantly translating all of the different kind of the languages of this body, so that we become aware of what it needs. We can take care of it. We can process whatever needs to be processed and let go. Couple more rounds of breath, using those inhales to just gather up any remaining tension in your system. And the exhales, just let it go. And you're welcome to simply roll over onto your back and take rest for as long as you need to. Or make your way back into the seat with your head heavy. And if you are into a seat, maybe placing the hands directly over the heart, feeling the warmth, the weight, the connection, body to heart, heart to body. Bowing the head also just as a gesture of gratitude and honor for this space, this body that we're still trying to constantly understand and hear and feel, but grateful for this time to really be able to connect with it is all part of healing. And I'm thankful for you guys inviting me into your virtual space. I bow to the teacher and to the light that shines in each one of you. Namaste.